party stories. They're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one. Yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me.
So I guess I never realized how close Ashton Kutcher is with P. Diddy. I had no idea that they had been friends for years and Ashton Kutcher used to attend Diddy's white parties. Like, Diddy and Ashton have been close even back when he was married to Demi Moore. And
y'all, the drama just keeps getting deeper because Demi Moore is finally breaking her silence about what her ex-hubby Ashton Kutcher was really up to at those dark, mysterious Hollywood parties with Diddy. And let me tell you, this could be the final nail in the coffin for Ashton's already struggling career. Everyone's been side-eyeing Ashton lately because of how close he was with Diddy and all those crazy parties he attended. People are whispering that he had to have known what was really going down at Diddy's so-called freak-offs. But here's where it gets wild. Apparently, Ashton has been working with the feds and is ready to spill all the tea on Diddy. But wait, there's more. This whole mess allegedly caused serious problems in his marriage to Demi Moore, and now she's desperately trying to distance herself from both Ashton and this whole Diddy situation. Like, what does Demi really know about these dark Hollywood parties? Did she witness what went down at these infamous freak-offs? Let's dive deep into this scandalous story.
Ashton has been friends with Diddy since 2003, and in 2019, during an interview when he was asked about Diddy's parties, he said, "Well, there's a lot I can't tell." Considering what Diddy's been arrested for, we might just have an idea. His first kiss with Mila Kunis was when she was 14 and he was 20. Now, there was rumors that he didn't know her age, but apparently the cast was very aware of her age, the directors were.
Listen, when Ashton was living his best life partying it up with Diddy back in the day, he probably never imagined it would all come crashing down like this. But honey, those chickens have come home to roost, and his career is taking a massive hit. The tea is scalding because apparently everyone around Ashton could see the disaster coming from a mile away. They tried to warn him, especially his ex-wife Demi Moore. During their marriage from 2005 to 2013, sources say Demi was literally doing everything in her power to keep Ashton on a tight leash and away from those infamous Diddy parties. Even Diddy himself spilled some tea about this in a 2010 Time essay. He was all nostalgic about the good old days before Demi came into the picture, writing, "For a while with Jamie Foxx, we were a rat pack hanging out going to clubs." Then he dropped this bombshell. "I remember one night he was with Demi, maybe for the first time, and a couple of weeks later he called to tell me he was in love. That was the end of our clubbing." Y'all, before Demi came along, Ashton was apparently going all out at these parties with Diddy. And I'm not just talking about those fancy industry events. I'm talking about those super secret after parties at Diddy's mansions where things got really wild. We're talking barely legal girls, spiked drinks, and literally nothing being off limits. But Demi wasn't having any of it. According to an insider, Demi did everything she could to keep Ashton out of compromising and tempting situations, and that definitely kept him away from these crazy situations you're hearing about in Diddy's case. This source believes Ashton should be on his knees thanking Demi for keeping him away from all that mess. And get this, apparently Demi was never into that whole celebrity party scene anyway. The source dishes that while Demi and Ashton definitely had their own spicy moments, it didn't involve any group situations or wild celebrity parties. They added, "Sure, Demi has to tolerate Ashton's friendship with a complete lowlife Danny Masterson, but that was a relationship that predated her. Even meeting Ashton, I don't think she ever allowed him to get as close to Diddy with good reason." Now hold on to your seats because this next part is shocking. Remember when the feds raided Diddy's homes and found all those hidden cameras? Well, word on the street is that they uncovered footage of some of your favorite celebrities going absolutely wild at these parties. And some of these videos are allegedly being leaked on the dark web. The New York Post got their hands on some explosive files with time-stamped photos and videos from these notorious freak-off parties. And guess who's front and center living his best life? Ashton Kutcher. According to these leaked files, these parties would start after major industry events, when all the normal people had gone home. One particularly wild video was from an after-party following the 2005 MTV VMAs hosted by Diddy. It starts off innocent enough. Eva Longoria, Fergie, Ice-T, Quincy Jones, Jeff Gordon, and Paris Hilton all hanging out. But then things took a dark turn. As the regular celebrities started leaving, the party moved to Diddy's Miami mansion, and that's when things got really crazy. The party completely transformed into something else entirely. According to the files, it turned into this wild scene with young men and women in various states of undress. The leaked footage shows some seriously explicit content, including 2 white men with a young black woman who appeared to be under the influence, while Diddy watched from the background wearing a shirt that said, "God is the greatest," which he was photographed in later that night. But that's not even the half of it. There's allegedly footage of even more explicit activities, including a clip where Diddy is seen getting intimate with a younger male A-list star. Like, "I cannot even begin to process this tea." And if you think that's wild, wait until you hear about the Super Bowl 39 weekend party in Jacksonville back in February 2005. This party had Ashton Kutcher, Ashlee Simpson, and Girls Gone Wild founder Joe Francis in attendance. As usual, things started getting really dark when the party moved to Diddy's private residence. The videos from that night are absolutely shocking, showing explicit scenes while laughter echoed throughout the room. Now, here's where things get really disturbing. Remember that explosive lawsuit about Diddy and Jay-Z allegedly essayed a 13-year gal at Diddy's 2000 MTV VMAs after party? The details are absolutely horrifying. According to court documents, this poor girl was driven to Diddy's place after his driver told her she was exactly the kind of girl Diddy was looking for. She was given something to drink that made her feel woozy, and while she was resting in a bedroom, Diddy allegedly entered with Jay-Z and an unnamed female celebrity. The story is just heartbreaking. They allegedly took advantage of her before she managed to escape to a nearby gas station and call her father. Now both Jay-Z and Diddy have completely denied this ever happened, claiming they weren't even at the party. But with everything we now know about these dark Hollywood parties, it's not surprising that lawyer Tony Busby, who's representing over 100 of Diddy's alleged victims, says his firm gets hundreds of calls every day from people claiming to have been victimized at these parties.
What we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of it, and never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward, where we've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people, while we're continuing to work through another 100+ cases to prove them up, to validate what has happened here, and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up. It's 1-800-200-7474.
The pattern is just sickening. Young people trying to break into the industry or build their careers would get invited to these parties, be given suspicious drinks that would make them black out, and wake up the next day with no memory but experiencing severe pain. And when they tried to confront Diddy, they were either threatened or blackmailed into silence. It's absolutely horrifying.
Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm.
And get this, word on the street is that Ashton knew all about this. His close ties to Diddy have people giving him some serious side-eye.
I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data.
I mean, just look at this footage of Ashton and Diddy being super creepy with a 13-year-old actress who they later invited to an after party that same night. Like, who does that?
Coming to the after party,
Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
So here's the tea on Ashton and Diddy's friendship. They've been tight since the early 2000s after meeting on Punk'd. Their relationship grew both personally and professionally over the years, especially during their MTV days when Diddy was doing Making the Band and Ashton was running Punk'd. They were always showing up for each other, like when Ashton supported Diddy's Unforgivable fragrance launch in 2007, and when Diddy wrote this super sweet message about Ashton being named one of Time magazine's most influential people in 2010. Diddy was all like, "Kutcher is a sounding board for me, like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul, but we are yin and yang, I am in your face, but he is understated, cool, suave." But honey, we all know they were involved in some seriously shady business together, especially at those wild industry parties.
You heard about the reports that Ashton Kutcher, he's worried that Diddy might lie on his friends? You heard about that?
But that's what I've been saying. I said, if the federal government wanted somebody more than they want Diddy, if he has some information about some people that they would rather have other than him, he's able to get that information to them. But they gotta want it. They gotta want it. And Ashton Kutcher and him they were real tight. One time, me, him, Ashton Kutcher went to a Nets game and we met Jay-Z there. You know what I'm saying? So they were close, they was cool.
But you think Diddy would do something like that? Lie on other celebrities?
Well, why would it have to be a lie? Because if he get caught in, he gonna be as truthful as possible. You understand? He's gonna give them enough information, whereas that it's gonna make him look like the choir boy. So, Ashton Kutcher, he has a right to be kind of alarmed if he was doing things with Diddy. Remember they used to have that group called the what do they call it? The Brat Pack? With Diddy, him, and a couple other guys was hanging out. Leonardo, one other guy too, I forgot the other guy's name. So, they all might be worried.
Y'all should have seen Ashton when he was asked about his friendship with Diddy on Hot Ones. He was literally squirming, trying to think of some innocent memory he could share with the public.
Party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over Punk'd, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table. And so that started our conversation. We became fast friends, and we used to just hang out, watch football together, like whatever. And he came over, and I was like, I'm going for a run. He's like, oh, I'll go for a run with you. And so he comes over to go for a run. About halfway through the run, he's like, yo, I'm running out of gas right now. But we had like paparazzi all around us at the time. He's like, you gotta slow down, but make it look like you're not slowing down.
Because he had to
I don't wanna look like I'm not gonna be able to finish this thing.
And here's what makes this whole situation even more suspicious. Ashton seems to have a pattern of being friends with predators. Remember in 2023 when his That 70s Show co-star Danny Masterson was found guilty of SA and sentenced to 30 years to life? Well, Ashton and his wife Mila Kunis had the audacity to write support letters to the judge for Danny. The backlash was intense because Ashton literally runs a charity called Thorn that's supposed to help child victims of SA, like make it make sense. How are you fighting these crimes with one hand and defending someone accused of the same things with the other? The whole mess was so bad that Ashton had to resign from his position at the charity.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
This explains why Ashton took forever to address those rumors about him and Diddy being at those freak-offs together. Plus, his wife Mila Kunis apparently put her foot down and told him to stop being seen with Diddy in public.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis getting divorced. Alright guys, the rumor is that Ashton and Mila have separated in preparation for all of the dirt that's about to surface involving Ashton at the Diddy parties. Diddy, Ashton, Mila, Demi Moore, Danny Masterson. There's so much to all of this, so stay with me. Let's start in 2002 with the Rosie O'Donnell interview.
And she was 14 when we started the show. I was like 19, right?
Right.
And they're like, okay, you guys are gonna be making out in this scene. And I'm like thinking like, wait, this is like slightly illegal,
That's
right?
probably your first kiss ever, right?
It was my first kiss. What's someone bet you made with Danny about our first kiss? I never kissed a guy.
Okay.
I was so, I mean, you know, Ash was attractive, and I was a 14-year-old little girl, and I was extremely scared for my life.
Sure.
Then Danny goes and goes, dude, I'll give you $10 if you French kiss her. What would you stick your tongue in my mouth or some?
What? No.
$10.
You're making it sound like it was like really. Okay, Dan, we had a little side bet going.
Yeah.
Like,
Which was?
It wasn't very
as to
side.
whether or not, you're kissing on the show with boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
You would use tongue.
First of all, Ashton said he was like 90. No, he was 20 when I was. Second, at one point he claimed he didn't know Mila's age at the time of filming that kiss. That's why. Third, Danny Masterson said what? Not surprised.
An insider spilled all the tea, saying, "There is no way in hell Ashton or Mila will be showing any sort of public support for Diddy right now." Apparently, Ashton's been keeping his distance since Cassie's lawsuit dropped, and even more since all these new accusations came out. Mila will not let Ashton be in any sort of contact. He is expecting a subpoena, as they have been good friends for 20 years. But honey, it looks like Ashton can't avoid this drama forever, because word is he's been subpoenaed to testify in Diddy's case. This totally explains why Demi Moore chose now to share her side of the story. The walls are closing in on Diddy, and everyone who used to party with him is getting caught up in the mess. So what do y'all think? Will Ashton step up and tell the truth about what went down at those parties? Or will he try to protect his old friend Diddy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're living for this kind of tea, make sure to check out our next video.